Meeting order. This is the regular board meeting of the, ready? This is the regular board meeting of the Supervisor and Board of Trustees of the Township of Orland for November 17th at 2025 at 7 o'clock. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Supervisor O'Grady?
Here.
Trustee Maderia?
Present.
Trustee Williams?
Present.
Trustee Soltis?
Present.
Trustee Duffy?
Here.
All rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Move on to number 4 on our agenda tonight. Clerk's report. Madam Clerk.
I'd like to request support of a motion to approve minutes of the regular board meeting and the closed session meeting minutes of the Supervisor and Board of Trustees for October 20, 2025 as presented.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Properly motion by Trustee Duffy. Second.
Second.
Second by Trustee Maria. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Duffy?
Yes.
Trustee Soltis?
Yes.
Trustee Maderia?
Yes.
Supervisor O'Grady?
Yes. Motion passes. We're on to number 5, public comments. Madam Clerk, thank you. Highway Commissioner Bill Brett. Oh, Rich is up. We'll go with Rich first. He's right there. Sorry, Rich. He got shuffled. You got shuffled to the bottom.
I had competition. First time. Okay, I would like to submit the assessor's report, assessor's office board report. Appeals for October, we had 164. That's year to date, that's 368. The Cook County Assessor's Office opened Orland Township for assessed valuation appeals on September 10th, 25 to October 23rd, 25. We worked on 426 cases. Of those, we submitted 368 online appeals and determined 58 had no basis for appeals. Exemptions and certificate of errors. October, we did 48. Year-to-date, 1,714. We continue to help our taxpayers file for exemption certificate of errors for tax years 21, 22, 23, and 24. Cook County closed 2020 certificate and certificate of errors filings on October 31st. 1,275 of the year-to-date filings has been for seniors and senior freeze exemptions and certificate of errors. So you can see a lot of that certificate of errors has to do with seniors. And they're missing an exemption, and we have to go in there and correct it. Permits, in October we did 608. Year-to-date, 3,719. Walk-in visitors, October, 164. Year-to-date, 2,777. Phone contacts, October, 331. Year-to-date, 4,852. Looking ahead, the 2024 Cook County second installment property tax bills are projected to be mailed out November 14th with a December 15th due date, which that did happen. Everybody should hopefully got them. You know, they mailed them out Friday. You should have received them Saturday. We urge taxpayers to carefully review their tax bills to make sure that the bills include all exemptions for which they are eligible. My office will be available to answer questions and help taxpayers apply for missing exemptions. Today we had 54 walk-ins and 47 phone messages. So they got the tax bill. We expect our second round of appeals for 2025 assessed valuation through the Cook County Board of Review to start sometime in late November or December. It'll probably be more December because it's already getting pretty late in November. You know? And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Any questions for Assessor Kelly? Rich, did you bring any extra people in to do that?
No, what we do need, I think I talked about it before, and Ken, you're aware of Liz helping us every now and then when she's available, but she doesn't come in on Mondays. So, but we do. See, we don't know exactly when we need that person, but when we need them, we need them.
Yeah.
This is a good example. So today we had to really use that person to operate the phones, answer the phones. But then in another month we won't need her.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I recommended if we could get somebody that works here and is like a floater, where we use them when we need them, when we don't need them, they can help somebody else. But that's the situation we have right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for Assessor Kelly? Hearing none, we'll move on to the next speaker, Highway Commissioner Bill Brennan. Welcome.
Thank you, Supervisor. Hello.
30 seconds, Bill. We have a break.
Yeah, we got to speed it up. We got to be quick, huh? Very good. Well, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate the moment to speak here. Just want to give a brief update on what's happening over at the highway garage in the highway department. About the last 6 months, income from the highway department's been about $42,304. That's income from recycling, TVs, computers, stereos, phones, and cell tower rental for about the last 6 months. Not only are we doing some e-recycling of the TVs, we have cardboard, newspaper, and plastic recycling. Residents can bring in their one box per resident. They can bring in their paperwork to be shredded if they want to. We do have multiple bins there in the garage. So if anyone would like to bring in any secure documents to be shredded, have at it. So the highway department has recycled over 77,460 pounds since we saved from going into a landfill. We're receiving about 300 calls a month for recycling that we're receiving over at the township. Recently, we donated 5 pallets of textiles. We're given to AMVETs and NEAT repeats. That's work that's currently going on every month. This past summer, we resurfaced 110th Court, 109th Street, and Ruggles Court. That was money that was allocated and budgeted from last year's cycle budget to be completed this summer. Right now, we're currently waiting on DCOE grant from the state right now, doing a little bit of homework on that. It's our contact has said that's since been paused, so trying to do a little bit of digging on that to find out where the grant is. The amount of work was about $450,000. We're expecting about a $250,000 grant from the state. So striping was completed in Pinewood and Ruggles Court. Replaced and checked all the street signs in the township in the last 6 months. We've coordinated with, if residents can, help be our eyes and ears, we've coordinated with Cook County. Any overgrown brush that's in our jurisdiction, please, call the township. We are inspecting it monthly, but any help from residents or any of you would be greatly appreciated. So. Street sweeping will be done. Residents have been asking about street sweeping. It hasn't been done in a couple of years, so we're getting on that. It's actually going to be done tomorrow. The 18th and 19th will be done. Street sweeping, I wanted to make sure we got all the excess garbage and anything that could be cleaned up before all the snow sets in. We did have our first snowfall, so that was on November 10th. Luckily, the ground wasn't too cold yet, so not a lot of it was sticking, so it wasn't a big snow event, but we were out there. So this past summer, we did have expanded hours over at the highway garage. I did open up the garage on Saturdays we're getting a ton of calls for recycling, so a lot of people that have their TVs, they're bringing in, we're getting tons of them every day. So I expanded hours on Saturday from 10 to 2 p.m. I was able to do that with some high school and college kids to help fill those hours and help the residents, but also help generate a little bit of income for the township. So that's been a big help. Work that we've done over at the garage so far, we seal coated the driveway in the parking lot, painted all the garage walls, and power washed all the garage floors. So multiple cold patches have been done on the streets. We're currently in the process of looking at streets for next summer for resurfacing to see what's in the budget. With the county's delay in delivering the tax bills and the revenue is kind of put on the back burner, but we're digging into that right now. This past summer, we did 11 permits and inspections for new driveways for new homes that were being built in the township. So that's kind of the news that we got here from the highway department. So any questions, I'm happy to answer them or get back to you with any answers. So.
Any questions for the highway commissioner?
No.
Any? Yeah, Bill, I have a couple. Thanks for coming out. I enjoyed your report. I didn't know that you had expanded the hours because I get a lot of those calls about the electronic cycling too. People call my cell phone and like, hey, what's going on? When can I get over there? And so thank you for that update. About 2 months ago, I was over in the Pine Woods, over by Creek Crossing at 143rd. We had a little talk about a little taco truck, and a lot of the residents came out there. I talked to many of them, and there's one common theme in that subdivision, and we hear it over and over again. It's when is the traffic control signal going in at Creek Crossing and 143rd? That's their first question, because there's a school, Centennial School's on the other side, and so there's no crosswalk there. And, that's one of these subdivisions I think we're seeing where a lot of people, the original owners, are moving out and downsizing, and there's new families moving in there. We definitely saw it around the parks. I know this board supported updating the park. We were out there. I was out there with Trustee Williams and Trustee Matarea earlier this year. For a little Lindsay Napleton met us out there as well. And we walked around, and there was Trustee Duffy, thank you. I don't know how to forget that. But anyways, again, that's so. I don't know if you can look into that or shed any light onto that for us. And number two is, and this is another ongoing. There's a lot of accidents there because that there's like a rise coming towards Wolf. When you're coming down Wolf towards, or you're coming from Wolf on 143rd towards east, towards LaGrange, and you come up on Creek Crossing, it kind of dips down there. Yeah. And then they're increasing their speed, and some of these, the residents are trying to take a left out, and that's why they need the traffic control signal. But also, it gets backed up there, and it was flooded out there this summer as well. Sure. And I know they're talking about making that 4 lanes in each, or 2 lanes in each direction, making it 4 lanes. Do you have any update on any of that?
I don't have any update on it, but it's something I will get in touch with the engineers on to see if they have any updates on that. But I will talk to the engineers about that and see if I can get you some updates for that this week.
That'd be great, because I would like to get back to the residents over there, even with like a little flyer or something, even if we post it up on something on Facebook or something like that, just to let them know that we looked into it. So I thank you for coming out tonight.
Yeah, no problem.
Really appreciate it. And thank you for offering to look into those 2 things. Anything on the follow-up on what I just said there? Any other questions for the highway commissioner?
No.
Fantastic. Well, good luck to Ada and the boys. You're coaching basketball. What are you doing out there?
We just finished football season, so they made it to state. So that was couldn't bring it home, but it was all good.
Happy Thanksgiving to all the friends.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on. Any other public comments? Oh, okay, we'll move on to number 6. I just saw our good friend, Commander. How are you? Welcome. Can you step over to the microphone for us? I know you're a little bit camera shy, but I want to welcome the Commander from Kendall Evans from the Cook County Sheriff's Police Department. He's the commander in our area. He's also in charge of our Hireback program. Also, we had our Halloween patrol, so if you want to give us a little update on what's been going on out on the streets.
All right, well, thank you. For the 2025 Halloween Hireback program, we had 2 officers who worked 2 different dates. The dates were Friday, October 31st, and Saturday, November 1st. Those patrol hours were 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. In that time, the 2 officers drove 126 miles. They performed 20 coded case reports, had 19 premise checks that they conducted, one of which involved the house of worship. And on November 1st, there were 2 calls where they assisted the beat car that actually works in the township, Orland Park, Tinley Park area for that particular beat, which is beat 46. They assisted with a citizen and then a domestic trouble call. So that's what we had for those 2 dates.
Great, well, thank you so much. Any questions for the commander from the board? I can't let you go, but I really have a question. I was just going to go back to our little party in the park, our taco.
Yes.
The commander came out that day and he brought the bicycle unit. I think you had the public relations unit, Haley
Incident
Maytag,
command.
and Katie
Yeah.
Walsh were there, and
Yeah.
yourself. Some of the other high-ranking officials, all the officers were there. They pulled their squad car up into the lawn and let the kids play around in the car, and it was a lot of fun. They had the lights on, and so it really made that event very special. It was great to see. You are their police department, as you know, in unincorporated Cook County, unincorporated Orland Township particularly, and we have 5,000 residents in unincorporated Orland Township. So when you're out there and when we see that the neighbors are connecting with you, it's great. So thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule and
Thank
coming
you.
out there.
Thank
It
you.
meant a lot, and I think we'll see the rewards of that. So thank you,
Absolutely.
and happy Thanksgiving to all the Evans, and it's great to see you, Kendall.
Good to see you too. Thanksgiving.
We were policemen together back in the
were.
day, when we were young patrolmen. If I would have stuck there, I could have been a commander. Nah, I doubt it.
You probably
I'm
would
the
have.
supervisor. I'm stuck with that.
You probably would have been the chief, but
Am I chief? All right.
the tacos were really good, but we're not paying for the grass that we drove up.
Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving. You don't have to stick around. I know you're busy out on the streets. Thank you for all you do.
All right, thank you. Take care.
All right. Thank you, Commander. Great. We're moving on. Reports. Trustee reports. Trustee Williams.
Marie Ryan's report has been submitted for senior services.
Thank you. That report will be accepted and entered into the record. Anything further?
No, thank you.
Okay. Trustee Duffy.
Yes, on November 6th, we had our final CERT class. We had 21 graduates, and to my surprise, all 21 of them signed up to be on the permanent CERT team going forward, which I guess the first time that's happened that I've ever seen, but that's good news. That speaks to the interest that the people have in taking the program and continuing to work it. I was pretty impressed. So our next class, we're going to plan for a little bit earlier next year, probably July or August to start it, and looking forward to that. I'm already getting a lot of inquiries from people wanting to join that already. Also, at last month's board meeting, we discussed the potential elimination of the pension plan for elected officials. I just want to take this opportunity to ask everyone to continue to consider that option, discuss it among yourselves, do your research. It's a thing that I think is not good use of taxpayer funds. I don't think that elected officials need to have a pension plan, just my opinion. So I'd like to see us come up for a vote in the near future, so if you be ready and prepared to do that, I'd appreciate it. Last but not least, I believe it's still in the best interest of the township to acquire the vacant lot next door. I had an additional conversation with Mayor Dodge from Orland Park. Although the situation from what I reported on of my last conversation with him is not quite exactly the same as I previously described it, I still think it's doable, and I suggest that this board form either a committee to formally process getting that accomplished, or appoint 1 or 2 leaders, employees, or elected officials, or whatever, to see it through to conclusion, because if we don't work on it, it's just never going to happen, and so far, not a whole lot of work's been done on it. And that concludes my report.
Yeah, thanks. And I guess I'll just comment on that. On the parking lot issue is, I don't think the numbers make sense for us, because the proposal that came over was we were going to maintain it and we were going to build it. And now that we don't have the Secretary of State's office here, and now that we don't have early voting here, I mean, it's like another $200,000 bill on our budget year after year for the maintenance, and right? I mean, we got the numbers from them. I'll go back and look at it. Well, I had sticker shock. That's why I remember it. I mean, even beyond the building of it, it was the township was going to be in charge with maintaining it. And, and it was a big number. It was no small number. So I'm happy to share that email with you. But I think, and the grant money was kind of hinged upon the Secretary of State's office. So I don't even know if Senator Cunningham would come through with the grant money at this point, because those things were kind of linked. So, I just thought it was kind of a dead issue myself.
Well, even with the DMV gone, a lot of people thought that the parking issue would go away with the DMV, but it didn't. The parking issues still exist. You still come into the office, there's no parking spot. So I'll have to park over in the food pantry, where you're not supposed to park, or have to park elsewhere. So we still have parking issues.
Well, we still have the arrangement with Dania to use their lot. I negotiated that years ago to keep that lot open, and we're doing that for free.
And then additionally, we want to do other things with the lot besides just use it for parking. But I think it's a worthy project to pursue, see what we would use it for, and if it's doable.
Well, I'd be interested in talking to you about that, about the funding of that, because I just don't see us having the funding, A, to build it, B, to maintain it, or C, to develop it in whatever your other plans are. I don't just know where that money's going to come from, short of floating a bond or borrowing money, which we've never done up here. That's a big leap.
No, I'd be all for it as well if we had the use for it. And it's there, and if we figure out a great use for it, I definitely recommend we look into it further.
Yeah, if the villages will only pick up more of the tab, but I think it benefits them more than it benefits us. And the way the proposal was reading was, we were going to 100% fund the maintenance. And maintaining a parking lot, Bill, maintaining a parking lot is not, between snow plowing, maintenance, it's just not that easy. It's just not a one and done. So, okay, I'll take another look at that, but I do think that the funding would be an issue for me. I don't know where we get it without raising taxes or floating bonds. And for a parking lot, I think we could walk a little bit further.
Well, it's not just for parking lot. There's a very small portion of the lot was going to be for parking. That we talked about using it for parks and other open space issues.
That was never a discussion I had with the mayor. He wanted, it was a full parking lot.
Yeah, I'm talking about a discussion we had as a board.
Oh, well, the mayor's not on board with that. They wanted it as an overflow parking lot for the taste and everything like that. That's the way they're envisioning it, and for the library. That's what the mayor told me.
And he told me a couple, maybe 10 spots for the library was all he had mentioned.
Yeah, but it was all parking. Anyways, okay, thank you for that update. Anything else, Trustee Duffy?
That's it.
Trustee Soltis?
Amy Haddad submitted the health services report on my behalf.
Thank you. That report will be accepted and entered into the record. Anything further?
Nope.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
He's good.
I guess I have a discussion. What was it? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know how I miss you. Sorry, Trustee Matarea, sorry.
name, too.
Thank you for reminding me. I went right
No
past it. You
worries
should have
at all.
stopped me before I got there.
Yes.
I was looking this way. Can we put it in order? That would help.
It would be easier.
Yeah, right? That's the way we used to do it.
The Youth and Family Services report has been submitted by Gina. She's continuing to see individual and couples throughout every month. They did have a scene program here last month. The attendance was low, and these are the type of programs that she would love our assistance with in trying to get more engagement. I was trying to help promote it as well. The few attendants that were there did request to have it hosted again. So I encourage everyone to learn more about these because it helps all departments, the senior, the health. Just having that support would be great. And she attended the risk-taking class. And they have, the one for November is being postponed to December, so we won't have an updated report on that one. And in February, the township hosts the Feel Fabulous February event, which is like a retail therapy that supports people through calming experiences, soothing music, and food sampling from local vendors. The proceeds from the event are donated to the Orland Township Scholarship Foundation. So as we get more information, I'll reach out to everyone to see if they have any vendors or anyone that they want to include. We are going strong with the community game night event. In October, we had a full house. It was packed by the time we opened the doors. People were flooding in here, and it was a really enjoyable time. Our next one is this Wednesday at the Township at 5:30 p.m. And for our December one, due to limited space, Dave & Buster's offered to host us, and they are sponsoring their party rooms and the food for us to have it there for December. So that will be on
Nice.
December 17th. And that concludes the report for Youth and Family Services.
Quick question, if I can, Lena. The risk-taking program, are all of the participants referred to the township by the courts, or is it a mix?
From my understanding, it is,
Okay.
but there may be a mix. Gina is the one who could clarify that because I'm not
Okay.
involved when it comes to the cases of the counseling and how they come in
Okay.
due to privacy.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Mataray. Sorry about that.
No worries.
I'm so used to going in order like we used to. So can we do that? Do you mind if we change the agenda next time? So it goes Trustee Williams, Trustee Mataray, Trustee Duffy, Trustee Sullivan. That way we kind of go left to right. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm getting old. What can I say? Senior moments. All right. Thank you. Anything else, Trustee Mataray, before we move on?
No, that's it.
That's a very great report. I'm happy to hear that the game nights are going great. That's a great idea. And I'm so excited to hear about Dave and Buster's because, when we start our activities here, we have for the adopt a family, the food pit drives and everything that we do that's so important around the holidays. We kind of have to use the activity room and all that. And so I'm glad you found an alternative space. I'm really excited about that. So anything I can do to help that, please let me know.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, moving on. Okay, it kind of just flows right into discussion regarding the needs for the holiday program and possible increase to distribution to those in needs. And, I don't think it's lost on anybody that watches the news or follows the news that, SNAP benefits have been cut off due to the budget shutdown or the government shutdown, the things outside of our control, at least anyways, that in Washington, D.C., they're having a budget battle, and that's their right, and there's important issues that they're discussing about health insurance and things like that, and so that's their job. But our job is here on a local level, and our job is to help those in need in our residents. And I don't think anybody that's again been paying attention to the news see how food pantries are getting strapped, and I think it would be irresponsible for us not to have this discussion and think about how we can step in and help. We're right here on the cusp. Saturday's our first our holiday Thanksgiving giveaway. It's kicking off, and we don't want others in our community to go without when we can step in and help. And so I'm proposing that we. What is the gift card normally, like $100, Lindsay, or $50?
That's just during the Christmas.
Oh, I think we should do it another $50 is what I'm proposing for, I don't know if we can get it out this Saturday that soon, but maybe shortly thereafter to those that have the option to come in and pick them up. It's a $50 gift card for Jewel, so they can come in and get some of the food they need. Some of them have children or babies and formula, and there's important things that they need. Trustee Mataray, did you have something on that?
No, I want to give kudos to Trustee Williams. Last month, he reached out directly to the food pantry to see what us as a board could do to help support in any ways. And she has been being so proactive on reaching out to people, making sure she has the right support, because that was before we knew if the SNAP benefits were going to be back in effect and so forth. Right. And I know a lot of people are working, like I'm working with my children's PTO and just brought in stuff. And thanks, Phil, for helping me bring it up from the car. But doing food drives and just being active. So if there's any programs that you're part of too, see where you could put up boxes, bring them to the township, drop them off once a week. All of that makes a difference. If we're all doing it, we're going to be getting a lot more. Lindsay was showing me how great it's looking in here with all the donations they're having. So I definitely see the community stepping up.
Always, always. And I just want to make sure, because we do have some money in reserve for the gift card program, and if there's an opportunity to put that in there, sometimes it's just nice for them to be able to go, because we don't have everything they need here, for every family, right? And that's why we use the gift cards to kind of let them go and get the things that they need. And
extras,
the extras, right?
Yeah.
We can do the blocking and the tackling. So, Lindsay, if you ever pulls on that, if you could circulate that to the board this week, I'd appreciate it. I know, what time does it start on Saturday?
We have distribution between 11 and 2, but we asked you ready to go at 10 o'clock, so we avoid any lines or traffic on the way home.
Okay, yeah, that's right. We could use the CERT people out here, Ken, for a little directing some traffic maybe on Saturday.
You got it.
Yeah, maybe if we don't want to be backing them up onto Ravinia like we did last year, we had a little problem out there, right? And it just helps the traffic flow as they come in from the south lot and they come through and they pick up down here. So, as always, we have a lot of volunteers. I know I'll be out there Saturday, so you can count on me. My 2 boys should be home from college, and if I can get them out of bed, I'll get them up here. I'll get Uncle Steve, my brother, Uncle Steve, will be here again. So we're all in on it on Saturday, and to pass the word that if there's people in need for Thanksgiving, we're ready to step in. So that's all I had on that one. Kind of been busy a little bit. I talked about the tacos over at Creek Crossing, but I was also over in Tinley Park with Mayor Glotz last month on our joint shredded event. I know, Bill, I'm happy to hear that you're doing it over at the Highway Department, but we had a fantastic event. We had 4 shredded trucks out there, and we serviced them all. It took about 2 hours. The line was incredible at the parking lot over there at the Metro Lot South, I believe it is, or North. Went around and around and around, but everybody was very patient. Everybody was very congenial. It was a great event. It's not every day I get to reach into somebody's trunk and pull out the Focus and see a picture of myself on it and throw it in the garbage can. I was like, hey, you sure you want to throw this one away? But they did throw a couple Focuses out in the trash on the shredded event. That was tugged at my heart. But no, seriously, it was a great day. Everybody really enjoyed it, and I saw a lot of people that were really satisfied. The folks that like to sit there and watch their documents be shredded to the folks that are just happy to come by and able to get rid of some of their documents. So, and I'm happy to know that we're now offering that at the Highway Department. So please, if you need documents shredded or around the holidays, make sure you get a hold of Bill Brennan over at the Highway Department and let them know. Thanks, Bill. What else do I have? Oh, yeah. This Thursday, I was invited over to the Prayer Center by the Imam and Malik Ali. We had a great community dinner. I know Lena was there, Trustee Duffy was, Shannon was there, we were all there. And it was a great community event, great listening opportunity for us, and to meet also across from other school districts. And Cranmer School 135, I saw 230 there, I saw 146, I saw the Moraine Valley represented there, I saw the Orland Fire Protection District. The Orland mayor got up and spoke and gave a great speech. He was an Edgar Fellows about civility and compassion in government, and I think that's all. We could all use a little more civility on that note. So I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the words from the Imam himself, who's echoed something as similar to that about community and serving each other. So it was a really great opportunity to get together. It was a really positive message, and it was a great time to learn a little bit about the Prayer Center. So I really enjoyed it. So thank you for hosting me. I really enjoyed the dinner. I know it's from Al Bahar, which is right over by, I know we're talking about spotlight businesses later, but Al Bahar is right over the Old Square Cult. Great food. It was a wonderful evening. What was that?
They get a free plug.
They get a free plug, yeah. Leah, did you want to add anything to that?
No, it was definitely a great evening. It was my first time going to the community event too at the mosque. I go there all the time for prayer and for services, but just to see the community there and so many different elected officials and seeing it in a different light, it was really heartwarming.
Yeah, that was great. And for you that haven't seen it, our Township Holiday Guide's out. I just want to point out a couple things in there. December 11th, 5 to 7, our Bingo Ho 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 is happening right over at Papa Joe's. Every year, Santa will be there. Also, we have the Adopt a Families going on. So if you're looking to in the giving mood this holiday season and want to adopt a family, we normally adopt over 200 families. You're going to adopt a small family or a big family, but it all helps. We're also the season of giving, so we're collecting all the different canned goods and perishables for the holiday giveaways we just mentioned. We have a giving tree, and we're accepting gift items for boys and girls aged 12 through 17. So, if you're in that giving spirit this year and you see it in your heart, please remember to stop by here and to drop something off. Also, the Thanksgiving luncheon is November 18th, which is tomorrow. So if you're available tomorrow between 10 and 2 right here, or right next door, our wonderful friend Bill Brady will be hosting, and then our big one at Silver Lakes, which is always a great time, and it's December 9th, which will be my birthday. Thank you. And it will be 11 to 2:30, $27 for residents, $32 for non-residents. I will not be there that day. I'm out of town at a conference, and that's why I apologize for not being at the last board meeting. I've been very busy at work, so I apologize for that, but I will not be at that event either because I'll be out of town for work. The New Year's Eve dinner dance is coming up. I know it's a lot. We got, like I said, it's busy, but that's going to be at the Orland Chateau on December 29th, 5 to 10. That's a big one. If you want to get your tuxedo on, get your dance shoes on, head over there. That's a lot of fun. Do we know who the band is this year yet? The Flat Cats. The Flat Cats will be there. They're a fun band. So make sure you put that on your calendar. And then there's just more information about the holiday giving program on the back. So I want to thank the board for their support to put this out. I know a lot of people do rely on the focus and this information to see what's going on up here. We have so many wonderful activities. So I just wanted to highlight a few of them. I think that's all I have. Yes. Okay. We're going to move on. Thank you. Number 8, unfinished business. A motion to approve a contract with Suncom Communications. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Properly motioned by trustee Williams, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Soltis. Thank you. Any discussion?
Mr. Supervisor?
Yes, sir.
I would like to see options A and C approved. A basically is continuing the service that we currently have, and C would be to upgrade our audio equipment, such as the microphones and the PA system and so on. And I think that option B is something we could look at doing down the road. Just go with A and C for now.
Okay, I don't have that on my agenda. Legal, is that a superseding motion? Well, I had a motion to approve the contract, and he just made
Contract
it.
has options on it.
Well, I know, but okay. So I'll make a new motion. A motion to approve a contract with Suncom, highlighting option, what was it?
A and C.
A and C?
Yes.
Which is one, A is keeping in place the old system, and
No, A is keeping the cameraman and their equipment coming in every month.
Oh,
like
these
we do
guys.
currently. And then C is purchasing new audio equipment.
okay. All right. Does everybody understand what we're doing now? You know, in the future, when we make these agendas, can we highlight that?
This one.
Thank you. Because it's confusing, because I don't think it really lets the public know what we're about to do. Now I know what we're about to do. All right, a motion to approve a contract with Suncom Communications, approving option A to keep the audio and visual, and option C to purchase. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Properly motioned by trustee Williams.
Second.
Second by trustee Duffy. Any further discussion?
I do. For the labor and installation, is this for it to be owned or leased?
The audio.
For
equipment-
C?
The audio equipment we would own.
Will own?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions before we vote?
Yes, who's going to maintain the equipment if we own it?
The sound it would be replacing these microphones for a more updated version of microphones. But all the equipment that's being used like this gets brought each month.
But the equipment that we're going to own, who's going to maintain that? I mean, if there's any issues with the audio.
We would get it repaired just like we currently do, but I would probably go to Suncom.
So it's not included, I guess is the answer to your
It
question.
says to be purchased directly by the client, so is it included in that 5,000 cost?
Yeah, the 5,000 cost is the installation cost, not the equipment cost.
It says labor and installation, and then we purchase the actual equipment.
Right. They'll tell us what to buy and then we'll buy it. Instead of them buying it and charging us for it, we buy it direct. They'll tell us what to buy and then we buy it.
And we'll put that on a different agenda. I mean, we'll have to approve it before they buy it.
Well, it says not to exceed $5,000, but
Well, he
that's
just
just for
said
the.
that's not for the equipment.
Yeah, that's just for the labor and installation.
But if he's saying that he's going to make a recommendation on equipment, we have to bring that back and vote on it, right? Right?
Sure, makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, should we
Oh,
have
that's
all of that?
right? Yes, thank you.
Should we have all of that gathered then?
Talking to myself there for a
To vote
second.
on it?
Yeah, so with the understanding that the $5,000 in option C is only for installation of the equipment that they're going to recommend that we're going to bring back at a different date.
Right.
Clear as mud? You good?
Oh, yeah, I'm good, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's okay. You look like you were in deep thought. I just want to make sure everyone had a chance to be heard. Trustee Solstice, anything?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Good, okay, roll call.
Trustee Williams.
This is for A and C? Yes.
Trustee Duffy.
Yes.
Trustee Soltis.
Yes.
Trustee Materia.
Yes.
Supervisor O'Grady.
Yes. Okay. We'll move on to new business. Number A, announcement of the determination of the estimated tax levy for 2025 for the town fund, the general assistance fund, and the road and bridge fund. Do I have a motion to approve, or I'll read the funds first. Let me do that. The supervisors and trustee have determined that $2,854,725 is estimated to be necessary to be raised by taxation upon the taxable property in the township for 2025 in the Orland Township General Assistance and Town Funds. This estimated levy amount is exclusive to any portion thereof that is attributable to the cost of conducting an election required by the general election law. Next, the Highway Commissioner has determined that $1,297,515 is estimated to be necessary to be raised by taxation upon the taxable property in the township for 2025 for the Orland Township Road and Bridge Fund.
I think it's 2026.
Amend that to 2026, I'm sorry. Okay. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve that as read.
Second?
Second.
Second. Properly motioned by Trustee Duffy, second by Trustee Materia. Any discussion on the levy? Please call the roll.
Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Duffy.
Yes.
Trustee Soltis.
Yes.
Trustee Materia.
Yes.
Supervisor O'Grady.
Yes. This next one is a motion to approve the transfer of $250,000 from the line of credit to the town general fund. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Properly moved by Trustee Duffy, second.
Second.
Second by Trustee Soltis. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Trustee Williams.
Is this basically to fill an existing gap because of us not receiving our revenues from the assessor yet?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And any other discussion? And I just want to make a couple points. You know, when we look at the budget and we look at where we're at, and you know, we do have approximately 150,000 and change to get us through the end of the year, which we wouldn't make it. We wouldn't make it unless we had this line of credit that the former board saw fit to put in place. So thankfully we have it, and you know, it's going to be easily transferable. But additionally, you know, I think we really got to take a look at our expenses. And during the Finance Committee earlier tonight, I mentioned that the 23-24 legal bills were approximately $28,000, and from 24 to 25, they're now $128,000. So, you know, I'm not banging on the lawyers because they are doing the work, but we just have to be cognizant that every time we contact the lawyers, it triggers a bill. And those bills become due, and, you know, it's up over our line item. And I know we're getting ready to go out for an RFP for a forensic audit. And, you know, I don't know the particulars of it, but that is other monies that, you know, we really, is not in the budget. You know, and I went back and looked at the 2025 annual financial report from our auditors, GW. I looked at the 2024 annual report from our auditors, GW. And I looked at the 23 township financial report from our financial auditors, GW. And there's no irregularities in there. I don't see anything. And if somebody's seeing something I didn't, Thank you. You can call me or
Mr.
email me.
Supervisor, point of order. We're talking about the $250,000 line of credit, which is strictly related to the tax not coming in.
I don't think I recognized you, and I don't know what your point of order is. It's under discussion. I'm allowed to discuss it. It's about spending money. It's about transferring money to spend money. I think I'm well within it. So I'm just going to continue on that. I would just say that, we have to be careful with the taxpayers' money. And if we're going to do something, if we're going to look into something, there should be some basis for it. And the basis should be coming out of if we're saying there's a problem with our auditor's reports, then that's something everybody up here should know. If somebody knows something that somebody else doesn't know, that's a problem. But as far as the auditors are telling me, everything's fine. And the lawyers are telling me everything's fine. But we're going to do a forensic audit. And all I'm saying is, before we spend money like that, we have to make sure what we're looking into and we're spending the taxpayers' money wisely. Thank you. Please call the roll.
Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Duffy.
Yes.
Trustee Soltis.
Yes.
Trustee Madureira.
Yes.
Supervisor O'Grady.
Yes. Okay. C, a motion to approve the hiring of Brittany Nepomuk. All right, Brittany Nepomuk as the new marketing and events coordinator.
So moved.
Properly moved by Trustee Duffy. Second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Madureira. Any discussion on the hire? Nepomuk. Any discussion? Anybody? Nothing? Please call the roll.
Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Duffy.
Yes.
Trustee Soltis.
Yes.
Trustee Madureira.
Yes.
Supervisor O'Grady.
Yes. D, a motion to approve premier sponsor for the 2026 Southwest Job Fair scheduled for Thursday, January 15, 2026 at the cost of $2,500. Do I have a motion?
I'll move to
I'll
approve.
second.
All right. There's a motion by Trustee Duffy, second by Trustee Madureira. Any discussion?
Mr. Supervisor?
Sir?
I was under the impression when this was first proposed to us at the prior meeting that we were going to be equal sponsors for this program, but it looks like that's changed because we asked for a more fair share of the cost. So my personal preference would be to be an equal sponsor with Sean Morrison, Tinley Park, and Orland Park, rather than being a third-party donator down at the bottom. So whatever it would take to do that, going back to the original $5,000 request would be my preference if that was what would be required to be an equal sponsor as far as promoting this event.
If my recollection serves me, it was $16,000,
Yeah, I
right?
believe it was,
No, our
it was
fair-
over 10,000.
No, our fair share was 52, I believe, was what was on the agenda.
Do you recall how much it was, Lindsay? I thought it was like 13,000 something.
It originally was 16.
That was the total. Ours was just
Oh.
supposed to be a fourth of that.
Lindsay, do you have anything on this?
Well, it makes it just great time because the event's 2 months away, the planning process has to, see there's MOUs and stuff like that. I know Bill just approved an MOU at their meeting tonight. So at this point, I don't know if we are accepting back to be as a corporate sponsor.
Okay, so it's either approve this or table it and see if we can negotiate. What do you want to do, Ken?
Well, we tabled it last time to talk about it, and
We
apparently,
don't have we have to make a decision,
yeah.
unfortunately.
So I would rather do this than nothing, I guess. I'm disappointed that we were pushed out, is how I view it.
Then if it's still on the table, do we have the option to approve it if it's still available? If not, this is option B. To be an equal partner for a sponsor.
What was the amount, do you recall, to be the equal partner?
5250, I think. Yeah.
Okay. I make a motion that we, to approve, to be an equal sponsor in the 2026 Southwest Job Fair scheduled for Thursday, January 15, 2026, at the cost of no more than $6,000. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Duffy. Please call the roll.
Trustee Williams.
No.
Trustee Duffy.
Yes.
Trustee Soltis.
Yes.
Trustee Madureira.
Yes.
Supervisor O'Grady.
Yes. Okay. A motion to approve and authorize execution agreements and related documents as presented by the Horton Group for medical group insurance, dental insurance, group life insurance for the term January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Matarea. Second?
I'll second.
Second by trustee Duffy. So we're approving, so,
We have to discuss which plan.
yeah, so can you just give us an update on the plan that we're approving?
So our current Blue Cross Blue Shield that we have, unfortunately, renewal is up to 27%, which is a significant increase to the township. As we all know, insurance is going up in all aspects. We just didn't think it was going to go this high up. Our representative, Orland Township, I spoke with him today again on this just to re-clear some of the things. But I have to go with his recommendation that it is unsustainable for the current policy. However, if there is concern with employees who are enrolled, that they can afford to keep on paying that. So the recommended change that David and I kind of agreed to is the Blue Cross Blue Shield Blue options. So it's still an increase of 8.4%. However, it's getting a lot of benefits from our current plan. So a lot of people who can save within their doctor's network. There's a little bit difference of the tiers and networks and the PPOs, but there's less PPO fees and
Thank you. All right. Any questions for Lindsay on that?
Yeah, Paul, I do. The policies that were sent to me for review and the board had United Healthcare on them, and very good coverage comparable to what they currently have. It was only a 2% increase. It was with United Healthcare alternate plan number 1, and that would be my preference, that we switch from Blue Cross to United Healthcare. It would save the cost for the township to stay in line with our budget, keep the employees' costs relatively the same, and from the little bit of information we have, it even looks like it might even be not just a comparable plan, but a better plan. Looks like the co-insurance coverage is a little bit better with United Healthcare. So if we did that, we wouldn't have any significant increase on the township or on the employees, so that would be my recommendation.
Yeah, I'll just chime in a little bit, because I've seen, as general counsel for other towns that have looked at this, United Healthcare, and I don't want to, but it's just really not an option. They are not comparable. They're not even in the same league. And that's why they're so much cheaper. And that's just the bottom line. Our employees up here are valuable to us. Many of them have health concerns. The option that is recommended by Lindsay has a 2-tiered system. If you stay in network, with the Blues, you can keep it pretty close to what we're paying now or what they're paying now, right? Similarly across the board. If they go out of network, or to a wider network, it's called, it goes up significantly. But at least gives our employees the option to see their same doctors. And I think some of our employees make $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, and it's not a lot of money. But at least they get good health insurance, and that's what they have here up here. And now to pull the rug out from under them on that, and to go to United, which and I don't want to sit here but it just, they're not comparable to the Blues. It's just that way. And every town that I've ever seen that went to United went back to the Blues because their employees either started leaving or there was outcry from the employees. And that's just the reality of the situation. The Blues are the Blues for a reason. I think we have to be sensitive, not just to, and that's why everybody's getting an increase. 27%, I agree, is too much. The other 2 blue plans are it's $5 or $10, or 8 point this, 8 point that. It's 8.10, 8.4 or something like that. I read the material over the weekend. But my point is that we keep them inside the same health insurance. We reduce the cost. We save 20%. That's our goal. That's our job up here. But to move to another whole new plan, I think is just a radical change, and a plan that on paper may look similar, but I'm going to tell you, it's not the same doctors, it's not the same network, they're just not the Blues. That's my comment.
Additionally, I'd like to comment that United Healthcare is a AAA-rated insurance company, and they're probably 10 times the size of Blue Cross. And they also handle the Medicare coverage for most of the United States, so I think they're a pretty good insurance company. I've been a health insurance administrator for 40 years, responsible for getting insurance for hundreds of people. And United Healthcare, I've never had any issues with whatsoever. Blue Cross actually has always been overpriced. There's years where they're competitive, where we would switch to Blue Cross, and then we'd switch away when they weren't competitive. I think for financial responsibility to do our job here as people are spending taxpayers' money, we should be cognizant of what we're spending. And United Healthcare is offering pretty comparable a plan for pretty much what we're currently paying. To go up 8% and you're getting less insurance coverage, which you need to highlight, it's less coverage, doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you whether United's this or that or AAA. I'm sure they're all AAA. I do a lot of insurance regulatory work, and I'm very familiar with the field. But my point is that, the doctors aren't the same, Ken. There's no way that United Health has the same doctors that the Blues have here in our area. There's just not going to be the same network. And that's just the reality of the situation. And I think, I hear what you're saying, and if it was just about money, I guess but it's more about our employees and looking out for them. And, just to say that we're going to sit here and say, boy, we could save an extra 5 or 10 grand, and you got good luck finding a doctor, or good luck in going to a new specialist, or good luck on getting somewhere, I think it's a little crass, quite frankly.
Well, if that were true, but I don't believe that to be correct.
I've had experiences with different staff members telling me personal information about their health, and I totally agree. I would hate to just try to save a few dollars for them to have the possibility of losing access to their doctors if that's going to be a risk of switching insurance companies. If their doctor is not in network with United Healthcare, that would be my main concern.
Frank, anything? Trustee Williams?
Well, I concur with your experiences with United Healthcare, and it stems from having a number of family members who are healthcare professionals, nurses in particular. Very little good to say about UNH. And I agree with what Lena has just said. When you have people who, maybe have kidney failure or whatever, and all of a sudden you're telling them you're on a plan now that doesn't, your doctor's not a part of the plan. And so, what are they supposed to do? A huge piece of healing and recovery is the comfort you have with your caretaker. You can't underestimate the psychological effect of being comfortable with who's caring for you. So for me personally, my choice is the Blue Cross plan.
Thank you. Trustee Soltis?
I agree that the seniors are important to us, and so are the employees, and I hate for them to go ahead and change a doctor because they're out of network. So I agree with Blue.
Okay. So we're going to make a recommendation to go with Lindsay's recommendation for the blue options. Blue options. Please call the roll.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Duffy?
No.
Trustee Soltis?
Yes.
Trustee Materia?
Yes.
Supervisor O'Grady?
Yes. Thank you. Motion passes. Okay, we're going to move on. F, a motion to approve and authorize the execution of agreements and related documents as presented by Alliant Mesero Financial Services for general liability and property casualty insurance with Illinois County's Risk Management Trust for the term 12/1/25 through 12/1/26. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
By Trustee Duffy, second.
Second.
Second by Trustee Soltis. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee Williams?
No.
Trustee Duffy?
Aye.
Trustee Soltis?
Yes.
Trustee Materia?
Yes.
Supervisor O'Grady?
Yes. Motion passes. G, a motion to approve and authorize the execution of agreements and related documents as presented by the Horton Group with Illinois Public Risk Fund for workers' compensation insurance for the term of December 1st, 2025 through December 1st, 2026. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Properly motion by trustee Duffy, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Matarea. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Duffy?
Yes.
Trustee Soltis?
Yes.
Trustee Matarea?
Yes.
Supervisor O'Grady? Yes. Motion passes. H, a motion to approve the payment of the invoice 25803EG dated August 28th, 2025 from Gallagher Asphalt in the amount of $437,269.83 from the Road and Bridge Fund. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Properly motion by trustee Duffy, second.
Second?
Second by trustee Williams. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Duffy?
Yes.
Trustee Soltis?
Yes.
Trustee Matarea?
Yes.
Supervisor O'Grady?
Yes, motion passes. I, a motion to approve payment of the bills as presented in the report dated November 17th, 2025 with the following funds. $135,952.50 from the town fund, $31,492.46 from the road and bridge fund, and $18,370 from the general assistance fund as presented. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Properly motion by trustee Duffy, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Matarea. Any discussion on the bills? Please call the roll.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Duffy?
Yes.
Trustee Soltis?
Yes.
Trustee Matarea?
Yes.
Supervisor O'Grady?
Yes. J, a motion to approve Resolution 01111725 to add referendum and educational choice for children act to the March 17th, 2026 general primary election ballot. Frank, this was yours?
Yeah.
Do I have a motion to approve first?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, Frank, you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah. I spoke with Dan Patlak earlier in the week about this program, which essentially is a program to increase the availability of grant money for students for any number of things, from books to test prep. It's applicable to both private and public institutions. It offers up to a $750 tax credit to people who donate to whichever grant funds they give to. It sounds like a great program to me. The two caveats are Governor Pritzker has to approve it. If he does not, the people who donate will still get their tax credit, but nobody in the state of Illinois will get any money. So for that reason, I support having the referendum put on the ballot.
And just so I'm clear, is this a binding referendum or advisory?
This is advisory.
Okay, any other questions or discussion on this one? Please call the roll.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Duffy?
Yes.
Trustee Soltis?
Yes.
Trustee Matarea?
Yes.
Supervisor O'Grady?
Yes. A, a motion to revise the fees for Smith Crossing residents effective January 1st, 2026. Fees would become $70.50 for a one-way inside the Orland Township and $15 one-way for outside of Orland Township, or to all, yeah, so you want to end it, Frank, or are you just trying to, you want to take a vote on that first, or you want to discuss that first?
We can vote on the rate increase first.
Okay, all right, let's do that. So let's stop there and just say, with that said, do I have a motion to increase it one way to $7.50 or one way outside to $15? A motion to approve. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second? All right, fails for the lack of a second. All right, we'll have a new motion. A motion to end all services from Smith Crossing. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Duffy, second.
Second.
Trustee Williams. Any discussion?
Mr. Supervisor,
Trustee Duffy?
I've made it a point since being sworn in on the board that I believe that Orland Township taxpayer dollars belong to Orland Township taxpayers. And I've always been opposed to our taxpayer dollars going outside the township to non-residents and non-taxpayers. So for that reason, I think that it's best practice for our ride share service or our ride services department to not be providing rides to people that don't live within the township. That's especially true given the case that our cars are in bad condition. We're doing all we can to replace them as we can. Our maintenance costs are way out of control, and we need to keep these costs down as minimal as we can, and they should be limited to Orland Township residents and taxpayers. That's my view on this.
Thank you. Trustee, anybody else? Trustee Mataray?
You want to go ahead?
Trustee Williams, go ahead.
It's okay.
No, just to add some color, I spoke with Carrie Rafferty earlier in the week and also did some of my own research. This applies expressly to residents of Smith Crossing in this particular motion, which is in Orland Park but is in Frankfort Township. So I did a little homework, and Frankfort Township and Will County both offer dial-a-ride services. Now, granted, nobody's as good as ours. but having said that, that brings me to where I agree with Trustee Duffy that I can't find justification for our taxpayers bearing the burden of whatever maintenance and wear and tear are incurred on our vehicles that is not shared with Frankfort Township or Will County or Orland Park or anybody else. So for that reason, if we're not going to approve the rate increase, I'm going to have to go along with discontinuing the service.
Thank you. Trustee Mataray?
That makes me want to go back and second that motion earlier. I have been to Smith Crossings multiple times. I have neighbors and other community members that work there, and a good amount of the people who live there are Orland Township residents by their roots, have families still living in their homes while they're inside the Smiths Crossing. Some are there for rehab and some are there permanently. I would hate to see, I would like this one to be the exception to the rule of offering residents outside of the township and kind of considering them to be part of the residents, even if there is a rate increase. I did not think it would come down to just cutting it off to them. I just don't, I know that there's other services, but most of these people, their roots are inside of Orland Park, so most of the stuff they're going to do and the doctors they're seeing are in our township. So if they're not coming to us, they might be finding a Frankfort doctor to go to, and again, that takes away from our business and money that comes in our towns.
Thank you. Trustee Soltis?
No comment.
Then I'll just say, you know, I'm intimately familiar with this one because when Mayor Pekow, former Mayor Pekow, defeated Dan McLaughlin, he came to me with this idea. And he pointed out that Orland Township was not providing rides to Smith Crossing. And I looked into it, and he was right. Pekow was right. He was right. We were not providing rides to Smith Crossing. But based on that conversation with him, I had conversation with staff up here. It wasn't Lindsay at the time, but the staff up here, and we decided that we would just charge them, not the township resident rate, but we would always charge them the outside as a non-resident rate. And that's been in place since I implemented that program at Pekow's request. And it's been in there ever since then. So, you know, I thought it was a good idea back then. I still think it's a good idea. I did not know what Trustee Mataray just said, but I concur with that as well.
Mr. Chairman, question. Do you know how many people were affected at that time in Smith Crossings?
You know, can I just finish?
35.
Can you wait till we recognize?
I'm sorry, sir.
I mean, Jesus.
Oh, come on, no.
Well, I'm not saying it towards you, but I'm just, it's too,
Yeah,
please.
I
I just
mean-
was finishing my comments. All right, you want to go around again? No, Ken, if you want to ask me a question, I don't know. Did you have another comment?
Yeah, it's currently 52, which is, I'm told it's gone way up substantially since it was implemented when they started providing the service at Smith Crossings. It keeps going up and up and up, and I think that if it was 52 people back then, it wouldn't have been approved back then. But now that it's gotten out of control, that number of people, I think it's the time to put a stop to it. Again, those are not taxpayers for Orland Township.
Wow, I'm shocked that 52 people is out of control. Trustee Williams.
Yeah, thank you. In the interest of clarity and transparency, I found out from Carrie the number is 35 of the residents of Smith Crossing are active ride service users. Let me run a thought by the board if I can.
You have the floor.
What does the board think that if we table this for this evening and we try to see if we could work out some sort of intergovernmental agreement with Orland Park for some cost sharing, most relative to maintenance of our vehicles?
I'm all about, sorry about that, I'm all about cost sharing and cooperating with other government entities. I know in the past, Orland Park provided a senior transportation van. At one point, they had up to 3 of them, but they thought we were duplicating their services, so maybe they do have some monies that they could contribute or put towards it. Again, Smith Crossing is in Orland Park, although it's not in Orland Township, so I would be in favor of that. Trustee Soltis?
I would concur.
Trustee Matarea?
I agree. My concern would be when we're talking about outside of, like, further rides from being picked up from Smith's Crossing to outside of Orland Township being $15, just as an example, what is written here. Is there a limit of how far that goes? Could that be the city of Chicago? From my understanding, there's not a limit.
I believe, little companies are the furthest filled out.
Little
Okay.
Company, Mary, Christ.
Yeah.
I think
Evergreen,
that-
all the way to Evergreen Park, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Total Cross,
Okay.
yeah. So why don't we get some more information on it?
only for medical. when-
Medical stuff, yeah.
Has medical going on.
Yeah, right. Medical only. That's good to know. Trustee Duffy?
Yeah, I'm fine with tabling this.
Okay, so why don't we have a superseding motion? Frank, do you want to make that motion?
Yeah,
Your idea?
I would move to table this and to pursue the idea of maybe we can work out a cost-sharing agreement, intergovernmental agreement with Orland Park. And also, is there one person on the board we want to task with addressing the matter with Mayor Dodge?
So I'll second that motion. And on the discussion point, if you seem to be looking into it, or Trustee Matarea or Trustee Duffy, I mean, it doesn't really matter to me.
I mean, I'm happy to call Mayor Dodge and ask what he feels about it.
I could do that with you if you would like.
Sure.
Okay. So
We'll handle it
just have-
together.
Yes, okay, perfect. Great. Progress. All right, here we go. All right, so we're going to have a first and a second. Let's call the roll on the motion to table this agenda item in favor of reaching out for the village and Mayor Dodge to see if there's any cost sharing we can do to provide the residents of Smith Crossing transportation through the township, and that Trustee Williams and Trustee Matarea are going to report back to us at the next board meeting. Call the roll.
Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Duffy.
Yeah.
Trustee Soltis.
Yes.
Trustee Matarea.
Yes.
Supervisor O'Grady.
Yes. Okay, a motion to approve the plan, I'm on I now. K-L, is that an L? My eyes are going. Okay, L, a motion to approve the planning of a community unity month in the spring. Spring into the community. Frank, the motion to approve? Do I have a motion?
Yes, so moved.
A second?
Second.
Second, Trustee Duffy. Discussion, Frank, do you want to talk about this for a sec?
Yeah, I would. I think as we all know, politics out here in our neck of the woods have become toxic. And some of it is maybe intractable, but I don't believe that all of it is. I will concede in my past life as a citizen activist, I've contributed to some of the division and animosity that has risen between the various parties. And just over the past few months, I've had personally, I guess maybe a little bit of an epiphany that doesn't work. It's unhelpful. And so I got this idea to try to advance the idea of this Community Unity Month, where once a year we would have a brunch or a luncheon featuring local elected leaders, community influencers. Did I sound cool saying that? Community influencers, activists, whatever, all with the express purpose of trying to bring down the temperature and learn to speak to each other, not necessarily to persuade each other to change our minds or whatever, but just to be able to talk with civility and respect to each other. I'm reminded of an anecdote, I assume it's true, when President Reagan was alive. You know, he and Tip O'Neill would beat the hell out of each other all day long, and then afterwards they could go out and have a beer. That's what I would like to see be able to happen in the township, and so that's why I'm introducing the motion to try to get this going.
Are you buying the beer?
I was going to say, first round's on.
Do I have an expense account?
No, but yeah. So thank you. I think I got a clear picture of it. Trustee Soltis, anything on that?
No.
Trustee Duffy?
No.
Trustee Manaray?
If this does happen, I request it's root beer.
Root beer? Yes, I agree. Very good.
No, I do have a comment to add to it. First, I would want to know like what an expense of something like this would look like. And I understand of like bringing the community together, but I think we could all agree that there's already there's not too many events that are like what you're talking about, but there are so many events that are already out there. I think the best way to bring community together is everyone start attending other people's events that they're already hosting and show up there and support them and communicate and talk to them. I think that would be a great step because like I know a lot of people still work and can't always make it to these brunch and lunch events that people keep adding on to the agendas.
Thank you.
I agree.
What was that?
He agrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trustee Still. Yeah, so you know, well, look, I think that. I guess my comment is, it kind of reminds me of what we just did the other night at the Prayer Center. That was just, it was kind of did have that feeling, and I agree with Trustee Maria that we have to make that effort to get out there and connect and put ourselves out there, and that's the first step towards building community and listening to the other side, and you know, I'm not against this idea, Frank.
I love it.
You know, and I'm for it.
Concept.
So, you know, if it's, you know, why can you bring? Can we just motion to approve the concept and then you bring it back to us, like what it would look like? And maybe more of a proposal.
That's essentially my intention.
It's for planning? Yeah.
This is just a motion to approve planning.
So,
You know, we
okay.
might find that financially it's just a no-go.
Yeah. Okay.
But
So I think we got it now. Everybody good for calling the roll? Let's call the roll.
Trustee Williams?
yes.
Trustee Duffy?
Yeah.
Trustee Soltis?
Yes.
Trustee Madria?
I'm gonna have to say no, I'm sorry.
Supervisor O'Grady?
I'm going to be a yes. You know, but it did, sorry. I just have to take a second here before we move on to discussions. So we're done with the agenda, now we're moving on to some discussion items. But I did want to, I was, speaking of going out in the community and listening, I was talking to the Imam at the Prayer Center on Thursday. I didn't realize that they no longer offer marriage certificates at the Bridgeview Courthouse. And so for our area, that means you have to drive all the way up to Maywood, all the way downtown, or over to Markham. And I would like, Shannon, if you're open for it, I just, maybe we could get you sworn in, or one of the deputy clerks sworn in as a Cook County clerk up here, like 2 days a week, and offer marriage certificates here at the township so people don't have to drive all the way out of the township. And it just came up in that conversation at the table, and it sounded something good to me. And, you know, we sell the unincorporated vehicle stickers. We do things, so this is not really out of our comfort zone here. I know we've talked about it in the past. If you recall, during the COVID, there was people that we had sworn in up here as clerks, deputy clerks, because we had the drive-by vote ballot drop, and so you had to be a clerk, a Cook County clerk, to observe it, and they swore a couple of our people in. So it just came to me because we were talking about community events, and that's what I learned by going out in the community. And it's really not my role; it's more of a clerk's role. So maybe I can work with you on that, and the deputy clerk, and
Pretty cool idea.
and everybody, and now, you know,
Would
just
that be for the entire county or for Orland Township?
I don't know, Ken, I don't know. I didn't think that far ahead, but I mean, I don't think anybody would drive from Evanston down here to get their marriage certificate.
Well, I wonder if they would, if the line was long, downtown or whatever, they would.
Well,
I'm just wondering what kind of value.
Yeah, I guess, I think we would, I'm open to that, to limit it to our region or something like that. I hate to go to the clerk's office and say, we're only going to do,
Orland Township.
yeah, something like that. I don't want to portray that, like we're building a wall around ourselves. But I think, if it's in the southwest region out here, people that would otherwise use the Bridgeview courthouse, but they've closed it. And I just thought that it's an idea for us to offer some services to our residents. And obviously, there was a lot of discussion around the table. Judge Rory Shalaby chimed in. He was, he's in Bridgeview and he didn't know what had happened. So there was a healthy discussion about it. And I just thought, this is something that maybe the clerk's office could do. So hard stop there. I'll talk to you offline, but that's the type of stuff when we go out into the community, we hear and we listen to our residents, not only about, the traffic light over on 143rd Street, but other services that we can provide to our residents. So thank you for that commercial timeout. Now I'll get back to the agenda. All right, we'll go down. Discussion items, a motion to discuss items L through M. Do we have to have a motion on that?
M through O.
M through O?
And then N.
Okay, all right, so these next three items are for discussion only. Small business, fewer than 50 employees, spotlight and business recognition program. I know that Tinley Park, Bill, we've done this, you guys have done that over there for years. When I was the attorney, we did that. So I'm very familiar with this, but Frank, this was your idea?
Well, I stole it from Tinley Park, but for all of us here present, I'll take credit. As everyone here knows, our township represents citizens and businesses in three different municipalities. And I just like the idea of doing whatever we can to help small business, particularly in these days with tariffs and all kinds of things that are making it expensive and difficult to run a business when you can't purchase commodities and goods in the same volumes as some of the big box stores. So what I'd like to do is have a program whereby citizens, entrepreneurs, 50 employees or less, could reach out to the township and say, I'd like to come to your January meeting and introduce the community to my business. It's just a form of free advertising going out over the live stream, and just giving them an opportunity to introduce their business and their services to the community. I don't want us to be in a position where we're voting to decide who comes and gets to present their business, but maybe through focus or something, we can introduce a way, particularly after our new marketing person comes on, where electronically people could go into a system and say, I'd be interested in introducing my business at a board meeting.
Great. Trustee Soltis, any questions on that?
No comment.
Trustee Duffy?
Yeah, a couple comments. I thought initially that this was to recognize businesses that were serving the community, and that specifically Orland Township. So, for example, we have businesses that donate their services and their money or their food to us at no charge, and I thought that maybe we would recognize those kinds of businesses as a priority over what Frank mentioned. So.
Well, that is the priority. I don't know if when I sent this in as an agenda item that I didn't specify it was for Orland Township businesses, but that's the explicit intent. So I don't know if, since this is just discussion, I don't know if there's anything we need to...
No, there's no action to take. I think that's a good idea. Kim brings up that, or Trustee Duffy, that we include, especially companies, and we've always done that through the holidays. We're giving out certificates after the first year for people that have stepped up in the holiday program, whether it's, adopting a family, donating, the Old Plank Trail Bank's always over here writing a check and donating to the food pantry and stuff like that. So, it's nice to highlight businesses like that as well.
The way I read it
Trustee
too,
Maravilla?
the way that I read it too was similar to what Trustee Duffy said, because it says business recognition on here where we're spotlighting them. So I understood it as people that are supporting the township, active community members, donating, showing up, sending volunteers. those are the ones that would be
Yeah, and so I
recognized.
think there's room to do both, is
Yeah.
what I would say. So I think that's, we can do one that is recognized for their contributions to the township and one that's new to the area, maybe wants to get involved with the township. So we do two businesses every meeting or something like that. And then that way, we're achieving both goals.
If I can add, and I think this ties into what you just said, Lena. Ken, I know that, I'm sorry, Trustee Duffy, I know that you've received considerable help for your CERT program from businesses providing food and things like that. I don't know that fits in with my vision of this program, but we absolutely should have them at a board meeting to recognize them for their contributions to your CERT program.
Okay, so why don't we, can we have it drawn up a more formal proposal then and then bring that back at the next meeting?
Sure.
Great. Frank, you're going to take that one?
Yes.
And I'm sorry, Trustee Williams. My father's name was Frank, and it rolls right off my tongue for some reason. I'm sorry, Trustee Williams. Speaking of small businesses, thank you for refreshing my memory because it's gone again. But another commercial timeout. Pastor Chad called me from Parkview Church this week. And there's a young lady over at the Supercuts that's at 179th and Wolf, and she's going to be offering a free haircuts, and she has some of her fellow stylists coming in on, I think it's Sunday. I'll get you the date. Check back with us. We'll post it up on Facebook, and I'll circulate it. I'm going to be handing out flyers on Saturday at the turkey giveaway, but for those in need that have kids and they want to get them a nice haircut for the holidays, and maybe they're stretched a little thin, they're jumping in as a local business. They reached out through to the township through Pastor Chad over at Parkview, who's great guy. So happy to help, and so more information on that coming. But I agree, Frank, or Trustee Williams, those are the type of businesses we want to recognize, and for people that are maybe a little strapped this holiday season, if you have 4 or 5 boys and you need to get them a haircut for the holidays, that might come in a little handy. So look for more information on that, and thank you to Supercuts and to Pastor Chad over at Parkview for reaching out for us. Okay, move on to N. Orland Township hiring practice nepotism to include first-generation relatives, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, cousins, grandparents, aunts, uncles. Adopted, not adopted, do those count? I don't know.
Well, I would call an adopted child my child, so.
There you go. All right, so this is yours, Frank, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just, really, this goes back to a couple of things. One, it's one of the things I ran on during our campaign for the April election. I'm not going to touch patronage because it's too dicey. It's not even necessarily illegal anymore, as we see Shackman has gone away in Chicago. And so that's an issue I'm not going to touch. But I do have a problem in general with whether it's a private business or government business, kind of opening the door and giving a little bit of an edge to what I call first-generation family members, those described in the list here. I know from the township perspective, there was one instance previously in the highway department. I don't know that there's any others around the township, but generally, in principle, it's just something that I've got a problem with, and so I'm introducing it as a motion, or I'm going to, next meeting. And if it's something that doesn't bother anybody else, then the motion goes down to defeat.
Trustee Soltis.
I think that you have to compare the best qualified candidates for the position.
Thank you.
And not to discriminate whether they're a relative or distant cousin or friends of family and friends and so on and so forth. So I think it should come down to the best qualified and talented individual for that position.
Thank you, Trustee Duffy.
Soltis, sorry.
I was going moving on.
Thank you.
Are you done, Trustee Soltis?
I'm done. Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to confuse anybody, but I'm on to the next one. Trustee Duffy.
I agree with Trustee Soltis. I think that the township has built-in difficulties in filling positions at times for a variety of reasons, so I don't think we should limit our resources by eliminating who we can hire. remind the board that all hiring is approved by the board. So if you have trust in yourselves, then something like this, I don't think should be necessary.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Mataray?
I also agree if a qualified tenant applies and they happen to be someone's relative, if they're the best candidate, I don't see why not. Especially if a lot of people told me it's like the staff, that it's like family here, and it can't get more family-like than actually having family members working together, so I would be against that.
Now, where would we draw the line, though? How about a young man is hired who will be reporting to his father as his boss?
Well, that would be a direct report. You would eliminate that.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I certainly agree with that, yeah.
Is your son applying for something here? You want to put a stop to it?
No, he's not.
You want to put a stop?
I do want to put a stop to it. I want to be my kids up president.
All you need is another one of me, right, Paul?
Yeah, right? So I think, okay, so there might be some room here. So, I've seen other policies like this, especially, well, maybe not so much policies, but when you have them directly reporting and stuff like that, husband, wives in the workplace and stuff like that, and, where they're direct reporting and the husband's the boss or the wife's the boss and they're reporting, and, that it does kind of make a more toxic work environment for the people that are around them, because you just can't get around that there might be favoritism or in that situation. So I have seen these policies before. I don't think we've had that issue up here. I think I now that you bring my, you jarred my memory on that one at the highway department, and now I do recall that now. But I found about that after the person was hired. I only recently found out about that. It was much later that I figured that out, but because I'm not really.
Not very recently.
Not very, not under your good stewardship, Highway Commissioner Brennan. No, but anyways, so I guess I'd be interested to see a proposal. I don't know if I'd be for it or not. I'm not morally against it. I do agree that the best qualified candidates should be up here, and we should people that care, that want to serve the township and know our mission, and our mission is just not. It's a little different, right? We're not just your regular, government entity, because there's such a social aspect to it. You want to you have to kind of care, and you have to care about the seniors. You have to care about those in need. You have to care about those with mental health issues. You have to want to do this type of work, and it's got to be in there. So it's in there somewhere. So I agree that the most qualified person. I'd hate to see that person not be here, especially when they want to be here and they want to do the work. So, I'd be I'd be a no on that one. So, but anyways, there's a healthy discussion. I'm happy to see you bring anything back. We'll move on to O, if anything else. Nobody, anything else? Okay, motion to adjourn. Do I have a first?
Move we adjourn.
Thank you, Trustee Duffy. Second? Second by Trustee Soltis. Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.